with my breakfast this morning. It's classic, it's simple, it's low calorie. I think it's like 250 calories-ish here. Without my sides, I usually have some fruit or something with it. Yesterday I had berries with it, and it was like 330 calories total. So this is somewhere around 250, 275, something like that. And as per usual, it's the same thing. You've seen it a bajillion times. This is my egg fold over classic. It is an Olay high fiber wrap, which is great because it gets me a bunch of my fiber first thing in the morning. It is 2 egg whites and 1 whole egg with my spices. Today my spices were garlic powder, chives, and dill. And then you just mix all that up, put that in the pan. And when you flip it over, I added 3 pieces of Canadian bacon and 1 slice of Velveeta processed cheese square things. Because look at how melty it gets. It's awesome. Delicious, so filling, 35 grams of protein, can't miss. So there's that. And then while that was cooking, I also made this. I reordered products from a couple of companies that I haven't used in a long time that I tried in the past and didn't repurchase from and couldn't remember why. So I was like, you know what? It's been a couple years. Because I think I lived in Illinois last time I tried this brand. This is Low Buff Protein, and this is a protein cake. I used the Cocoa Crave one, and these are the stats on it. The stats are actually pretty incredible. As prepared, it's 290 calories. It is 7 grams of fat, 30 carbs, 7 fiber, and 30 protein. Like, really, really solid. Oh, it's sinking in. I made one the other day. I made a funfetti one. And here's the thing. It still tastes like protein. It tastes like protein. I decided to add, it worked on the outside a little bit. I added to this, I just got this in the mail to make some Oreo Ninja Creamy. This is the Cocoa Trader dark or black cocoa powder, which the stats on the black cocoa powder are actually really incredible too. I got this off Amazon for like 16 bucks. It'll last me forever because you only use a little bit at a time. I added a little bit of the cocoa powder. I added some baking powder to see if I can get it to floof a little bit, and apparently I didn't add quite enough. And then I added a teaspoon of coconut sugar just to see if I could mask the proteiny taste a little bit. But the other day I made one and I ate it hot. Right? So what I do with these, it ends up being quite the costly thing, but like it's essentially a meal. But if you can work it in, that's fine. I actually purchased my all-time favorite, you know, of all the like crap, unclean foods you could eat. Brady Crocker Rainbow Chip Frosting. It's my favorite canned frosting on the face of this planet. So I bought this to frost my buff cakes with. So instead of eating it hot, I decided I was going to make it, and then I'm going to let it sit and let it cool in the fridge, and then frost it and eat it later and see if it has an impact on the flavor. I don't know. We're experimenting, because then the other thing I'm trying to figure out is, can I make something similar better? You know, so that's kind of what I'm messing around with. Like, what if I took the recipe for the 3-2-1 mug cake, which is a box of cake mix of your choice and a box of Angel Food cake mix, and mix them together? Or what if I put a tablespoon of Angel Food cake mix in here? Would that puff it up and make things happen differently? I don't know. So I'm kind of in like this experimental phase with the low buff protein cakes right now. But the stats are good. So there's that. All right. One other thing worth noting as well is on one of my last vlogs, you actually saw that I'm intermittent fasting. And in that video, I was doing a 17-hour fast. We talked about how in the book that I read called Fast Like a Girl, it merged the concept of intermittent fasting and cycle syncing. Well, today is June 20th, which means that I am in the period of time in my cycle where I'm no longer supposed to fast. So it is 8:45 in the morning, which is the earliest I've eaten in a very long time, but I'm not supposed to fast from now until my period starts. So because I was hungry, I was like, okay, let's have a little bit of breakfast. So that's why we're here doing the thing this early. All right, so here's what's going on with my low buff protein thing. I decided I wanted to try it 2 different ways. So the first way is, of course, the classic way. I split this in half. So the nutrition information for the entire cake is over here in the column on the right, 290 calories. We already talked about this, right? So the cake base itself is the 290 calories and the 30 grams of protein, 7 grams of fiber, right? So on the first half of it, which would be, what, 95 calories? The first half of it, I put a full serving of my absolute favorite canned frosting on there for something just, you know, cakey and delicious. And then this is the other company that I reordered from, because I was like, I can't remember why I stopped ordering from them. Their product also has a slight proteiny taste to it. This is Twisted Dough, the protein cookie dough, but they have reformulated. I'm still trying to get more information and get a grip on their products. Their actual dough is, well, I can talk about it later, but this is their whipped. And the whole concept of the whipped is you can eat the whole jar. And it's a generous size serving, but here's the thing. Whipped cookie dough evidently is like, it's chocolate pudding. It is the consistency of chocolate pudding. Doesn't mean it doesn't taste good. This actually tastes really good. But if you're ordering it and expecting the consistency of cookie dough to eat the whole jar, it will not happen. So the stats for this, for the entire jar is just under 200 calories and 20 grams of protein. But the flavor of this is actually very, very good. It is a high protein chocolate pudding. And so I used some of that to frost the other half because it's more protein on top of protein, right? So here's what I did. Is it the healthiest choice today? No, it's not. But I added all of this to, literally all of this, to my MyFitnessPal. The cake with both the frosting and the entire jar of this. And with my breakfast, that leaves me with 581 calories left. And I only need 36 grams of protein out of my 120 that I'm currently trying to reach. So my breakfast and this gets me to 84 grams of protein, which is a lot of protein, which is awesome. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to have these as like my snacky options throughout the day today. That's the plan. All right, fam, let's do a little real talk. I have been sitting here for 4 minutes trying to close this stupid Ziploc bag. No matter what I do, I don't know if it's me, I don't know if it's the bag, but like I can feel it clicking under my fingers. It is doing the clicking thing. I am squeezing with the inside of my thumb because that is much more effective for me than squeezing with my fingers. And it's not closed. It's not closed. It won't seal. So at what point do you just say, frickin' screw it, and you come up with a different solution? Here is my different solution. We have a Ziploc bag, and we have a clippy clippy. Get the air out. We're gonna do this, and we're gonna do this. Ta-da! And then, I feel like this is overkill, but I don't think it'll fit in a quart-size bag. I don't even have any quart-size bags up here. Okay, gallon bag it is. Why are Ziploc bags so freaking difficult? And why? I feel like over the years, they have gotten more difficult. Like, the quality has gone down in the zipping mechanism of so many different pieces of packaging that they are now impossible for my CMT hands to use. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten so frustrated with the packaging of cheese slices because for some reason I can't open those. And I used to be able to open those, and I honestly don't think it's due to a progression of my disease. I think it's due to the quality of the product, and it's now everywhere. I literally, 5 minutes of my time, y'all. This should have taken me 15 seconds to close, but no. I even took a damp cloth and wiped out the zipping mechanism to make sure there was no powder in there that was causing interference. How? Friends with normal hands, how do you do stuff like this? This is your CMT problem of the day. Hello. How nice of you to join me for this day. Can I help you with something? Can I help you with something? This is me getting on the floor. What? Do not do that. Do not. Can I help you with something? Are you gonna get a toy or not? What kind of nonsense is this? Are you kidding me with this? Get a toy, will you? Oh, for heaven's sake. Every freaking day, this is what we do. I get on the floor, and then what do? Nothing. You used to at least play with me, and now you'll do nothing. jerk. Got so very distracted with stuff upstairs that it is now 3:18 and I haven't had lunch yet, which was in theory okay because I was like, oh, I have the protein desserts, like those could just be my lunch and whatnot, but I haven't eaten any of those either. So since it is so close to dinner time, I decided on a really boring but macro-friendly frozen meal. So I have the Healthy Choice Zero Tomato Basil Chicken. I love this. The ingredients are really solid. The macros are like, okay, so for a full meal, like this is probably not enough food, let's be honest, but this is a great base for you to be able to build it up with some other things, maybe add some additional chicken or additional veggies or top it with some cheese. I did top it with a little bit of Parmesan, but I wish I had goat cheese to put in this. I do not have goat cheese right now, which made me very, very sad. But there's 27 grams of protein in this, which is just bonkers. So I tend to have at least one of these in the freezer for occasions such as this. It is small, it is basically a snack for me, but it will hold me over until dinner time, which is perfect. All right, my friends, it's dinner time. This is leftovers from what I made last night, and I am so stinking excited to eat it. So first we have green beans. I am obsessed with the frozen organic green beans from Costco. They come in this giant freaking bag, and you know how sometimes when you go to like Sam's Club or Costco, you get bags of vegetables that are like smaller bags within the bigger bag. This is just one giant bag of loose sitting green beans, which means you can pick out whatever serving you want and make them, which I love. I'm just obsessed with these and they cook really, really well. So I saute these in a pan from frozen with just a little bit of olive oil, and then I throw in some onion and bacon in there. Oh, it is so delicious. So delicious. You don't even know. Try it out. It's so good. And then this is leftover pork tenderloin from my butcher box. Y'all, one of the bummers about having leftovers of really good meat is sometimes you have to reheat it and cook the meat further. Yesterday, the cook on this pork was a perfect medium rare. It was the softest, tenderest pork I have ever made, and I only take credit for part of it because I think part of it was the quality of the fact that it was a butcher box pork tenderloin. It was just, both my husband and I were absolutely blown away by it. Unfortunately, I just tried a little piece that was left here. It is still juicy and delicious, but it's not quite as tender as it was at its medium rare because I had to microwave it, and now it is a well done piece of pork. But it's still delicious. It's seasoned well. I'm very, very excited. That's my protein base. And then over here, I have from my wild grain box. What is happening? From my wild grain box, the free thing that I got in my wild grain box were these dinner rolls. So I cooked those up the other day and have been eating them with meals and whatnot. So I just warmed it up in the microwave for 30 seconds and put a little bit of butter on that as my carbohydrate side dish. I'm so excited to eat dinner. I am super hungry. Thought I'd come out here for a couple of minutes. It is 81 degrees, but when it is 8:30 p.m. And yes, this is what it looks like outside in Minnesota at 8:30 p.m. The longest day of the year is tomorrow, and that means our sunset is probably not going to be till almost 10 p.m. if I had to guess, which is super cool. I do love that in the summer that our nights are much longer, but the problem is in the winter our days are much shorter, and that's fine. I mean our days are longer, you know what I mean, like the nights don't get dark until late. Love that. Love that. Anyway, I did, in terms of food, let's do a food recap for the day, shall we? You saw the protein cakes that I ended up making earlier. I took half of each of the half after lunch, and then I ate the other half of each half after dinner. So I ate the whole thing. I also had permission and had tracked the entire container of the twisted dough whipped essentially chocolate pudding, protein chocolate pudding. I did not finish that. I had a couple of spoonfuls of it, but I did not finish it. I didn't want it. I'm working on listening to my hunger and fullness signals and my satiety cues and my desire levels and all of those things. And I decided I was done. I was like, I don't need to be eating this anymore. It's fine. And put it back in the refrigerator. And so I will have some more to enjoy tomorrow, which is great. And today was overall a really good day. My husband has been at work all day. So Miss Gracie has been non-existent. She has gone from laying in the bed in front of his office to laying in the sunshine over on the side of the house. It took her until 8:15 p.m. to play with me enough to eat. She wouldn't engage with me. She wouldn't eat, none of it. And I just wasn't even going to try and force it today because I knew he'd be home tonight and then she'd be fine and whatever. dog's supposed to be my dog, and she's definitely not my dog. She's his dog, which is fine. Now, of course, I'm outside and I'm looking at the lens and I'm having eyeball problems. Come on, man. Anyway, I had a great day, productive day, a very motivating and encouraging day. I'm currently looking at trying to make some big moves, kind of shake things up a bit, regularly get out of my comfort zone. Tomorrow starts our sustainable summer challenge in the Patreon group. Tomorrow's officially the first day of summer. It's a very, very exciting time. I'm feeling highly encouraged and optimistic about leaving this summer, like finishing this summer in such a different place than where I'm starting it tomorrow. And it's a really cool feeling to feel that way, especially when the desire is to also create some clarity around all of the things, all the areas of my life, including content creation, including revamping and leveling up my coaching program. And I'm so excited about this, working in extra specified mindset work and some really interesting things that I think will be able to help me cater to women who are looking for something different in their health and wellness journey and looking to lose a little bit of weight, but need something different. And sometimes macros is that answer, but also sometimes macros isn't the answer or isn't the only answer. And there's a lot more mindset stuff and there's a lot more habit stuff. And I really have that spark to want to go deeper with my clients, and I'm really excited about it. So I'm feeling all the feels right now, and summer starts tomorrow and I'm out here and it's just, I feel so good, y'all. I feel so good. I feel so optimistic. And that's a wrap for this vlog. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. If you like what you saw, go ahead and give that video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.